I think one of the benefits and values of Mount Airy Learning Tree has been that it allows people to be their best side, that there's an awful lot going on in the world that is not the best that we can be, but when you're teaching and learning, you are your very best. And I think that's one of the, within Mount Airy Learning Tree, that's kind of its mission, is to bring out the best of all of us in the neighborhood.
So I started teaching a MALT class a couple years ago. I teach a course called nonfiction book proposal writing. And I have a background in publishing. I've worked in nonfiction books as an editor for about 15 or 20 years. And I made a career change into something else, and I realized as I got away from book publishing that a lot of people hold these dreams for publishing a book. They want to tell their story. They want to have impact through their ideas. And the publishing world, the book world, can be incredibly intimidating and mystifying for people. So I wanted to offer this class and have an opportunity to sort of be in touch with people and their ideas and their passion and help them sort of enter that world to be able to fulfill their dreams and have the impact they want. So that's why I'm offering the class. Remember we talked about in class, if you could wave a magic wand and have your book create the kind of change or impact in the world that would be most meaningful to you, what would you want to happen as a result of publishing this book?
Well, I would hope that schools, that first of all, teacher education programs, curriculum specialists would find out that one size does not fit all, and it does not meet the needs of all the children, and that they need to assess for what the needs are, produce teachers who are familiar with those needs, give student teachers the kind of education where they deal with inner city kids, especially those who find teaching as a career passion, and also decide what curriculum experiences these students need to achieve in life.
Isn't she amazing?
Other than academics.
I get to work with her. That's what MALT does. It lets me meet people like this. It's incredible.
And since I came from that background, the same background, I feel that I owe back big time. And I enjoy writing about them.
What did you say? It's payback time. Is that what you
It's,
said?
it's payback time, yes. Because I don't want, on Judgment Day, I don't want God to say, after all I gave you, what did you give back?
Well, we're going to make sure that happens, right? Together?
Yes.
Is it a deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
And I knew that when I saw this course.
Good. We'll make it happen.
Okay. Yes, we will.
Okay.
Well, I'm a fresh face here at the MALT office. I started actually teaching classes. I taught a photography class at the photo lab that I worked at a few years ago, and met Jonna, and then came here to the office and started volunteering and fell in love with the Mount Airy Learning Tree. It's done a lot for me. I've seen it from almost every perspective. I've taken classes, I've taught classes, I work here at the office. I get to work directly with the teachers. I create the new classes. They come in as a fax or an email and become a class that people attend, and it's really exciting to see something start out as an idea and formulate into a class, and watch all of these students go to these classes and connect with the teacher and make friends with their fellow students, and just to hear all those stories. I mean, I get phone calls on a daily basis with rave reviews about teachers, or something great that somebody has to say about a class or a location or what they've learned. It's just amazing. It's really a treat. So I manage 300 classes and 2,000 students, and I love it. I couldn't see myself anywhere else. I really couldn't. It's been a real treat and joy.
The environment in which I teach is always a happy, I don't want to say go lucky because we're always trying to get something accomplished, but it's always a very relaxed environment. My philosophy is if you're not having fun, you're not going to process, you're not going to internalize what I'm trying to teach you. So I go in with the best possible attitude I can have. And it's definitely 110% reciprocated by all of my students. And I think that's why we have so much success. Everybody just enjoys themselves, and whatever problems they had prior to arriving, we just kind of try and let it go. I invite them to bring in their own music for my water aerobics, so it's never a routine, it's never a dull moment. I've had anything from Earth, Wind and Fire to Frank Sinatra. How we did water aerobics to Frank Sinatra, I couldn't tell you. But it's always just a good, fun time. And through that, they forget they're working out, they forget about the pain that they normally experience in other workouts, and we have relay races. So if you can imagine a 65, a 75, 85-year-old person running across the pool, coming back, tagging hands, jumping across the pool, any fun things we can think of, we just kind of get it done, and we put everything else aside and we just go for it. Nobody's laughing at anybody, we're all laughing. We're all laughing at ourselves, so it's always, always a good time. My swimming students, my goal is for them to just step outside of the box and try and put their fear aside and see how far it'll take them. One of the best experiences I've had is a pair of sisters came, I'd say, in spring of 2008, and they said this was something they wanted to accomplish together, something they've had a lifelong fear of. And once they finished the class, both of them were swimming. I'm not going to say they were, Olympic swimmers by the time they finished, but they were both swimming, they were both comfortable, and one of them sent me a note that said, now that I've accomplished this, I know I can do anything. And that's kind of the attitude I want everybody to have. You can't do something if you don't try, and I just want you to try, and through that, I know success will come.
Hi, I'm Jonna with the Mount Airy Learning Tree. It's exciting that we're doing this capital campaign. I think that one of the beautiful things about the Mount Airy Learning Tree is, although it's always been a part of the neighborhood and depended on the neighborhood, it's always been self-sufficient. We are a fee-driven organization, and the smart people who first founded this organization set it up so that we would be a fee-driven organization. They knew way back 28 years ago that if we were grant dependent, it could make us not be here in a few years. So we've always been self-sufficient, and we hope to remain that way. It's something that we pride ourselves on and that we work hard to maintain. The only time we tend to come to the community and ask for money is when we're doing special projects. Buying our building is definitely a special project. It's not something that we set out to do. It's not something that we really intended to do, or that with thoughtful action we went out trying to make happen. When Ethel, our landlady above, passed away and her daughter started talking about selling the building, we realized that things were going to change here at the corner of Green and Horder, and we could either figure out where our best move would be to deal with that change, or we would end up possibly having to move. We didn't want to have that happen, and so our board went to work and they did due diligence, and they figured out that this would actually be a wonderful move for the Learning Tree. That if the community was willing to help us fundraise enough to do this building, that Malt for the next 30 years into the future would not only be here being a viable part of the community, but that it would be financially stable and would be able to maintain that sustainability into the years to come. So that's something that we're very excited about, and we hope you will join us in helping make this our home.